Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Now it took me a little bit to kind of come up with all this information, child. It's a lot, okay? Now this is the breakdown on the plumber. Yep, the plumber. So remember there was a plumber in that balloon pop game. I don't really watch the balloon pop game, but my boyfriend does, and it's like a really big deal on social media. He kind of watches it lightly. He's not like a huge fan on it, but he's been kind of like giving me the rundown about how it goes. And you pop the balloon if you're not interested, and the last woman or the last man with the balloon is the person who gets to go out on a date or see where it goes with the person. So this balloon thing has been absolutely hilarious to me, but I think what has sparked my attention is this plumber guy, right? Some plumber guy comes on and he's very like rude to the ladies, so everybody's looking at him like, what? They're even calling him sassy. It seems like he's being himself. However, he's coming off very sassy to some of the ladies. He has like come back saying, hey, I didn't want you anyways. Yep, you didn't qualify to even want me. So all the girls is looking at him like, the nerve of this man, how could you? And he just has this aura about him that says he does not like women, right? So all the tea is being spilt. Okay, so after the episode, after it went viral, all the ladies are coming out and speaking about this man, child. It's just so much. Now this man has a history of just being a narcissist, has a history of the domestics, has a history of, it's just a lot of mess. Okay, now tell me why they done found this man job and got him fired from the darn job. I don't know what made them do that, or what was he doing, because I don't know. I mean, I know he pissed women off and a lot of ladies was upset with him, but I never thought it was serious enough for him to lose his job, child. But people are saying that this is just bad karma because of his past. So as of right now, he has a GoFundMe. Yep, you heard me right, a GoFundMe. Now, here is what the GoFundMe says. The GoFundMe says, peace and blessings be upon you all. My name is Aaron, aka Weapon X. I recently went viral on several websites, gaining millions of views. False allegations have been promoted in order for people to make money discrediting me. I was fired from work today due to these videos. And he says, today was honestly the first time I cried in a while. Getting my license in plumbing was my biggest life accomplishment. It took years of hard work, study, and praying. I also provided free plumbing services to Army veterans, single mothers, single fathers, those with property management issues, and those on disability. Yes, I do have funds for my bills. After saying he has funds for his bills, he continues, he says, so anything you donate will be a blessing and used for expenses towards my humanitarian child work, and also content creating. Possibly I am undecisive. Thank you for those that perceive me in a positive fashion and have been supporting me. God bless you all. And this post was made, he said in this post, all this clout chasing got me fired from work. Man, I really love plumbing and I'm good at it, and they got that taken from me. Y'all are sick. They called the company 500x, a whole bunch of times, child, and are messing up business. And another woman turned this post in. Now, this is from like a message that was sent. Now, this woman has sent this message on social media, like to a couple of different people. So I got wind of it, and I'm just going to share what she said. She said, here in California, because I have the emails from my boss and owner and my co-workers that he sent to them from my phone. He stole and made me lose my job of 5 years. defaming me to the worst possible way. And mentally and emotionally, I was not in the right place. I cried for a solid 3 to 4 months. I would have cry outbursts because all the damage he did when he broke into my home. Thankfully, my son, dog, and I weren't home, but he literally stole all my expensive shoes, purses, perfumes, my TVs, my son's Xbox, even my effing clothes. And what's more sickening is he even threw out all my effing groceries all over my walls and floors, and poured the laundry detergent in my dog's food, and peed all over my couch, child, my plush carpet, my effing bed, and the little bit of clothes he left, which was like maybe 10 to 15 items. And I have a huge walk-in closet. He peed on that ish too. He beyond sick. I just keep praying the posts keep getting shared. I pray he gets caught. I pray he gets karma, child, and gets everything he deserves and more. The woman made this post. She said, seeing God karma do its job feels so good. That man that's going viral for Pop the Balloon dating on TikTok is the same man that almost took my life, she says, almost took me away from my son. Also, the same man that has made other women his victims. You deserve everything coming your way. You deserve to be behind bars. You deserve the worst. Now everyone is seeing the piece of ish you really are. God ain't done. God don't play ugly. And this is, what the woman is saying on social media. So this is absolutely crazy. And also, I found out that this man has a record, it's actually a public record. I'm going to get into that right now. Also, I would like to give you guys a disclaimer that I'm not the best reader, but I'm definitely going to try my best for you all. And I also would like to say that this case have been back and forth. I think the last entry on this case was 2023. That was the last time anything on the web, at least what I saw. However, this happened a while ago, but it's just been a drawn out case. So Toulouse police arrested a man they say used a Craigslist advertisement to set up a robbery. Yep. So Aaron Talvin Salone, I believe that's his name, Aaron Talvin Salone, is being held in Toulouse County Jail on a $50,000 bond for robbery with a dangerous weapon. Now, this happened a while ago. Now, police say that Salone, who was 20 at the time when this happened, advertised a 2003 Cadillac for $3,500 cash using Craigslist. He met a prospective buyer Saturday afternoon in the parking lot of Cannon Creek Apartments in the 2100 block of East 51st Street. Police say after a test ride, the victim agreed to purchase the car. That's when a masked man carrying a gun came up and demanded money. The victim ended up running away without giving the robber any cash. Now, this man did all of this and actually didn't receive any cash, according to an arrest report. Now, that person called the police and said that Salone, basically the plumber guy, ran off with the suspect. Police say that the salon guy called the police as well, saying someone had pointed a gun at him and tried to steal his car, but he did not wish to see a police officer. He then called back and said he wanted to talk to police, records show. So officers met the plumber in the parking lot of the apartments complex and took him into custody based on victim identification. Police say that, the plumber was uncooperative and lied about who he was staying with at the Cannon Creek. Police say that the man, basically the plumber, was staying with basically matched the description of the armed robber. Not that the armed robber that you had do all of this, you were staying with. And it's believed that police are still looking for the second man. This was a while ago. So I just pulled this up so you guys know what he ended up, you know, the whole jail situation and what really happened. This is what happened. So basically he set up a robbery, put up this Craigslist, you know, ad, set up a robbery. However, the person ran off. He didn't really even get any money, but then he tried to call the police and tell the police that something happened to him, to which the police didn't buy. At first he said he didn't want to press any charges, but then called back and said he would like to talk to the police and press charges, met up with the police only for him to get arrested. And basically the police see right through his story. So honestly, it comes off like he's not the smartest man, in my opinion, because the whole situation in that situation is absolutely dumb. But a lot of women have been coming forward and basically explaining, you know, what this man has done. I have some clips here that I would like to show you all, but I'm gonna wait till the end. I want to kind of briefly talk about the black woman that actually capes. Now, I'm going to show you guys the clips of his ex, because his ex-girlfriend is going to come and state all that happened to her, her personal experience being with this man, and just everything that she went through, and it's really heartbreaking. And like, y'all already saw me break down the whole story about this other woman who has a son and all the things that he's done to that woman. And the ex-girlfriend kind of goes into that shortly as well, saying, hey, she feels bad for that young lady and things that happened to her. Why this black woman is out here caping. Now, ain't nothing wrong for caping if you really like, for your black man, you know what I'm saying, if you really believe he's a good person. But this woman had not even met up with him. This woman is saying that he's a wonderful person just based off a conversation with him, and communication with him, and you know, she's thrown out her cape and standing in the way. And this woman is all like, if you go on her page, she has pictures with Umar Johnson. She's just, you know, the ultra black woman, you know, like, it's giving earthy woman vibes, it's giving Erykah Badu, you know, it's giving all of these things. So she's gonna throw out her cape and cape for this man that she's never ever met in person, and cape for this man that she doesn't really know past the internet. And for me, I felt like that would seem a little bit disingenuous, but if that's her experience, that's her experience. But she spoke up for this man. I thought that it would be good to have some positive, you know, because this man has a lot of women kind of coming out and speaking of him and saying a lot of things about him that's kind of horrible. But this one woman, you know, had said that she had the best experience, had a great experience, but she had never met him in person, because she said she just couldn't do the long distance thing. But she was somebody that said like something positive, and it happens to be a female, about him. But I think that, like, he just comes off very arrogant. I don't like the idea that he just goes into dating thinking that women just want to use him for his money, and that, you know, maybe that is his experience, but it seems very shallow. I don't know. Maybe you make a lot of good money as a plumber. I'm not a plumber, so I don't know. I've heard that they make really, really, really good money. But even if that is the case, you don't go into any situations just like with a negative mindset, because only negative things is going to happen. I really believe in the spirit of manifestation. So if you manifest BS, that's what you're going to get. And I feel like that's just was his energy for me. And I didn't like how he kind of talked to the women. Yes, they, you know, didn't want him, but you got to handle rejection very well. You know, it's okay if they didn't like you. That's fine. You'll find your person. I'd rather a man have that type of mindset. But it just seemed like he was very negative, and, you know, rejection is never fun. So I get him being sad about it or being, you know, disheartened about it, but I just felt like he could have handled it differently. But I wanted to talk about that. And I also want to talk about Esther. Esther was the woman that chose him at the end, the black woman. And it came out a lot of different things about Esther. Now I want to talk about Esther because Esther allegedly she was flirting with somebody towards the end, gave somebody her Instagram, and it kind of, you know, was off-putting to him, and he was like, no, he's not interested in Esther, because why would she do that? Why would she give somebody else her Instagram? And it made him feel like, nope, she was, you know, loving the crew, she's going, and it made him uninterested in her. And I'm going to show you guys the messages, a message that was posted online about Esther, her basically apologizing. She had it on, like, I believe shadow mode, to where it was like not, I guess that's like a private message when you have it on shadow mode. However, you know, she basically was apologizing to him. I'm going to show you guys that receipt. Now, I said shadow mode. I meant vanish mode, as you guys see. And I think he posted this. He said, come on now. She put the message in vanish mode. Now I'm not attractive. I told you, no, you can't have a second chance because you not qualified too. Meaning Esther is not qualified. Now, this is supposedly Esther. So Esther said, I wanted to reach out and apologize for giving another guy my Instagram. It wasn't my intention to disrespect you in any way. He asked for my number, but I thought it might be more appropriate to connect on Instagram since he mentioned having a podcast and potentially having me on there. I generally wanted to know you and would love to see where things go. Things could go between us. I hope you understand, and I'm sorry if I caused any confusion or hurt feelings. Let me know if you're open to talking about it. If not, I understand. So she basically apologized, said it was a business situation. However, this guy did not feel comfortable with it, and he has that right, like, to not feel comfortable. And, you know, she already knew that he, like, him, any sense of infidelity or whatever, you know, even being like coming across would be offensive to him, because he already showed that he's a little insecure in that way, meaning that, hey, he doesn't want his woman doing certain things because of his past, because, you know, he wears his heart on his sleeve, because he's fragile, for whatever reason. She kind of, you could just get that energy, you know, and that was a big thing early on when he spoke about, you know, things that was deal breakers for him. So she should have kind of sensed on to that, but she's 23, guys. She's pretty young. So I don't know, like, he expected way too much from such a young girl. I feel as though that's why I say that people should date people within their age range. You can't just be out here, because these young girls, it takes them time to mature, and you can't rush their process just because you're there. You know what I'm saying? You have to let people go through what they're going to go through so that they can be ready for what they, you know, they're ready for when they're supposed to be ready for it. A lot of older guys date young girls and then want to grow them up fast when there's steps to growth. You know, you have to experience this, experience that, experience this, that, and in order for you to get to a point where you're comfortable, a point, you know, a certain point in your life. When somebody rushes your progress or rushes your growth, it kind of like you skip steps, and that's unfair, you know. But a lot of what these women discuss about this guy, I have personally experienced this, like, in past, and these kind of guys are never good. You know, it's very scary to be put in situations like this, and I pray for all the victims. I can't believe, like, you know, a lot of these women's stories is very heartbreaking. I don't know this guy on a personal level, but if all these allegations are true, yeah, he has a very dark spirit. I can definitely understand looking at somebody and just knowing, oh my God, like, you know, you just kind of sense when they're bad people. If you date a guy and he has like a bad aura, you just kind of sense it, or your family sense it. You know, a lot of times family get it before you do. And especially if something about them cancers got, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to do that, because there's a thing about every zodiac sign, but there's something about them cancers. I don't know, massage, I don't mess around with them cancers, because there's something about them that's just, they different, they built different. And a lot of the times, from my experience, the crazy scary guys just give cancer. They're just, my experiences with crazy guys have always been cancers, and I can't really go too much with Pisces. Pisces and cancers are like, Pisces are too emotional, and cancers always have like a dark streak for me. But that's just my personal opinion. That's not like for everybody, but that's what I just think. But yeah, this guy, there's a lot of crazy stuff in this video about him. So y'all, hopefully you enjoy these clips, and tell me what you think about everything when, you know, the video is done. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. Find me on all my social medias, please, guys. I'm on TikTok. I'm on, you know, X. I'm on, like, Rumble. Yep, y'all get ready to rumble. I'm on everything, okay? I love you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of these clips. Oh, and before I forget, I also want to add on, y'all should definitely think about the fact that he was over here cussing, talking about how he can't be allowed at church, or they're not allowing him at church. I'm like, what? Y'all, let me show y'all these clips, because yeah, man, this man is saying that he's not allowed at church. I don't believe that at all. Because what church you know, especially, well, hey, we don't know what church he going to, actually. You know what I'm saying? Because he a different type of person. So we don't know the type of church he going to. I was about to say, what black church? But he might not even be going to a black church. He might be Catholic. You just never know. But not being allowed to a black church is crazy.
I'm a licensed plumber. I look for a woman that's not promiscuous and has a career going for herself. A deal breaker, being promiscuous, don't have a career, nothing really going for yourself.
And I was, she someone that's your type?
She all right, you know. You're not really my type. I don't mean to be disrespectful, you know, but if I seen you in public, I wouldn't reach out to you.
Totally fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Y'all want to talk about it? Let's fucking talk about it. This man that you see right now, his name is Aaron, and he was in this video and it went viral. It hit over 2 million views. And let me tell you, you can see it in real life how crazy he is, how rude and nasty he is. Remember all my stories about how he put sugar in my gas tank, how he put a tracker in my car, how he put his spare cell phone recording at all times to try to catch me at work cheating when I work with nothing but women. Yeah, he would do pop-ups at work and everything. He uses the same excuses over and over again. So if you want more story behind this, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Let me know if you want the full story time behind it, because it can get very detailed, very graphic, and I was left very traumatized. I had to move apartments, get a new car. So again, if you want the details, go ahead and drop a comment below. All right, now that we opened the can of worms, let's go ahead and talk about part 1 of Watch Who the Fuck You Date. So his name is Aaron. Aaron is my ex. We dated for a few months and it didn't last very long, and let me tell you why. He is like insane. It's like he has that little person talking to him in the corner of his shoulder at all times. Like he's making up constant stories in his head about like that I'm cheating on him, that he's got to watch his back, that I have guys in my apartment at all times, and that I'm cheating while I'm at work, when I work in a clinic full of women, by the way. So let's take it back to the beginning. So again, we met. I lived in Arizona. He lived in New Mexico, and he said, oh, I have a friend that lives in Arizona. I was actually just there. I was like, oh, dang, well, whenever you're down here again, let's grab dinner or whatever. He's like, all right. He ended up coming, and his plan was to end up moving to Arizona anyway with his friend, right? He ended up at my house so much anyway that I was just kind of like, I mean, you kind of already live here. His clothes was there, everything. So I was like, fuck it, just, you know, that was my mistake. So my mom ends up making dinners for us all the time. We're Mexican. We make huge dinners. And the first time he went, he met the family and everything was cool. But when we left, my mom called me and she said, are you okay? And I said, what do you mean, am I okay? She said, well, I see something in his eye, like he wants to hurt you or like he wants to control you. I don't know how to tell you because I don't want you to think that I'm crazy. But I'm just telling you to be careful and really think about if this is the guy that you really want to be with. And I was like, well, I mean, it kind of is already in motion, you know, it's already happening. So then my mom invites us over for dinner again. I think it was the next day, and we play loteria. And I guess he was just like, no, I don't want to go. Like he started little by little, kind of not wanting to be around my family. And I don't know if he noticed that my family didn't really like approve of him or whatever. I'm not too sure. But anyways, that was a red flag number 1. It's kind of like he was already trying to distance me from my own family. You know, like the only protection that I have had is from my family, and he was trying to move me away. So when I first started talking to him, I was talking to other people, as in I had a lot of guy friends. And I don't hang out with too many girls because sometimes it can get overwhelming and a lot of drama can start. So they would still text my phone, and of course, I talked to somebody else before I met him too. It kind of just ended up going in the direction with Aaron. And so they would text my phone, and he would check my phone every few hours. Every time a vibration would go off, every time I'd get a notification, he's looking at me like he wants to like literally do something to me. I don't know what was going on. It's just that look in his eyes, and you guys know because you have seen that look in the Pop the Balloon game, like this video that went viral. So he starts checking my phone every few hours. He starts to track my location. I gave him my location on my phone because I was like, I have nothing to hide, right? And I'm always either at work with him at home or with my family. And it started online. Everything was super good. Like It flowed so well. The person that you see online there is not the person that I met. Like, he masked it so well. He must have learned all of these tricks when he was getting his record or something, because he was very manipulative, very controlling. The red flags were him trying to distance me from my family, me basically paying everything. He was very controlling. He wanted to check my phone every few hours. He wanted to know where I was every second of the day instead of being at work. When he's supposed to be at work, he's over here popping up at my job. He, again, put a recorder in my car. I dropped it on all the 3 other parts. He starts to distance me from my family. He starts to track me. I give him my location because I had nothing to hide. Every time I would walk by the window, my location would show that I was outside. So he'd call me like, what are you doing outside? Who are you messing with at work? Why aren't you working? Like, that controlling, right? Then he starts doing pop-ups at my job, and it got so bad because he would show up in his work truck while he's supposed to be at work at my job, that my supervisor had to keep watching me. We had to basically, like, everybody had to walk me to my car after work to make sure that I made it. And the girls would text me, hey, did you make it? Again, it's a clinic full of girls. So that was a red flag number 2. And then one time I walked outside to the cafeteria, and he calls me and he's like, how did I know you were outside? So that in my head was like, circles are already turning. I go to my car to see if he put a tracker, because he is capable of doing some shit like that. And I couldn't find anything. And then he pops up at my job like, don't break up with me, don't do this, like, I'll change. I thought I was going to catch you doing something. And I was like, how did you know I was outside, right? He said, I put my extra phone tracking you in your car, and I left it on record because I was expecting to record you doing something, as in cheating on me or like messing around in your car. And I was like, I was done. After that, I was completely done. I said, get your stuff, get out of my house, and come bring me my key. And he was like, no, I'm gonna change, whatever. I went home, he was still there. He was like, let's try to work it out. I was like, you know, he already lives with me, he moved here, like, whatever. And it was going, I was going to do it so bad. And then he went to go get coffee for me or something from Starbucks, and he was like, something's wrong with your car. And I was like, what do you mean something's wrong with my car? He's like, yeah, it started to act weird. And I was like, okay, hold on right there. My car, I have a 2019 Dodge Challenger. It's been perfectly fine. I kept up with the oil. I don't understand. All of a sudden you're driving it and something's wrong with it. So, he was like, yeah, your car's acting funny. I was like, no. At that point, I was like, already get out of my house. Like, I don't want you here. You ain't paid one bill. You put $20 a light one time, and maybe you spent like $30 on groceries because I was going to cook dinner one time. But my mama always told me, do not allow a man to come into your home and pay any bills, because then he's going to feel like he has the right to either stay there or like, oh, I paid the rent, I live here too. But in all reality, everything that I had gotten was mine, and I didn't allow him any part of that. So I was like, all right, get out, whatever. He leaves. He still tried to contact me. I was like, no, get out. I grabbed my car. I went to my mom's house because I didn't want him to try to come back and to try to convince me. And that's what brings to like my mind all the time. Like, you guys tell people in abusive relationships all the time, like, you need to leave, thinking that it's easy for these women to leave. And it's not. Like, yeah, they've gotten hurt or whatever, but these women are completely head over heels in love with these men. So it's not easy to leave. So I did what I thought was best. So I went to my mom's house right after. And he's calling me like, dang, you're already at somebody else's house. You're already cheating on me. I was like, whatever. And on my way to my mom's, I start to feel that my car is starting to shake. And I'm like, dang, like, what is it? I took it to 2 different mechanics that were like, it was the spark plugs, the ignition coils. I fixed that. And then I went to another mechanic because it started to shake again. And supposedly it was the same thing. They fixed that again. So I went to a 3rd mechanic, and he's like, I think they might have put sugar in your gas tank, but I would need to take out the gas tank to make sure. And I was like, no, I don't think he would be capable of doing something like that, whatever. So I couldn't find what was wrong with it. At this point, I had moved out already because I was so scared. My mom had let me borrow money because I needed to move out before my lease was up, so he didn't know where I lived. I moved apartments. So at this point, I went and got a new car. I went to the dealership and I got a new car. I changed my car. And when I asked him, hey, did you ever find out what was wrong with my Challenger? He said, yes, there was sugar in the gas tank. So this man that claims to be very godly and studies the Bible and, you know, practices this religion.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, certainly. Yes, ma'am. I'm a God-fearing man. I practice monotheism. You know, I won't tell you what I identify as religion-wise, but we can get to that at a later date and time.
Put sugar in my gas tank, tracked my car, put a phone to record me in my car. And I would do things like say everything he needed to hear, like, yeah, I cheated on you, like, because I was so scared of him being crazy. Like, this guy has a record. You guys don't know that. You guys really need to be careful who you make famous on this app. Him always saying how much money he had and how much money that he could pull out of the bank, like you seen in the pop the balloon game video that went viral.
Okay. But one thing about me, I could pull 100,000 on the bank. Can you do the same?
Get this
yeah,
man
you can't do that. You can't do that though, baby. Yeah, in a real way. You can't do that though, Queen. I don't need a woman to give me her money or anything. I'm just looking for devotion and some loyalty. That's all.
All right. If we can have your name and age.
Hi, I'm Esther. I'm 23.
You think Esther was finna get some money up out of me? Boy, she wasn't finna get a wooden nickel. One thing about me is I don't treat women. I court them. You know, it's a big difference in a real way. And I'm going to court my wife and that queen out there somewhere, baby. If you watching this, hello, mommy.
He'll say, I could withdraw 100K from the bank right now, but can you? Yeah, I had some debts here and there, but I always had money stashed because I was taught to never tell a man that you have money or like that you have a stash or whatever. So he would always be like, you're so broke, like you can't afford me, like just shit like that. When he'd get mad, he'd say the most, but then go and apologize and cry about it. But he actually does have a kid. He just doesn't think it's his, but he does have a kid. He even has a trust fund in the name of that kid. I do even have a receipt of him saying that he has over 100,000 like dollars in the bank. So I never actually got to see any of the money. I remember one time he like withdrew some money and he had like $20 in there and he had to call his dad or something to like transfer money because all of his money was in a trust fund. But one time he was really mad at me, and through the text free app, because I had his number blocked, he texted me a picture of his bank account, which this is a receipt. His name right there, Aaron. I don't know what Pro Extra Member means. I have no idea what all of this means. Supposedly this was his balance on one account and this was his balance on another. Now, do I believe it? Not necessarily. Again, I didn't let him pay for anything because I didn't want him to have the right to any of the things that I own, but he would complain about spending $20 here and $20 there. So do I actually believe that he has that amount of money in the bank? I don't, but he is a licensed plumber only because I helped him apply for some jobs here in Arizona, and I actually know where exactly he works and everything. Like, I have his email, his credentials, everything. So he is a licensed plumber. I don't know if he's employed with the same company because I haven't kept up with him ever since I blocked him. I try to close that can of worms, but this is the answer to your question. So everybody keeps asking me, what was the purpose of you outing him or making these videos? And it's because I needed to bring awareness to a lot of women out there. He is constantly on different dating apps because this is what all the other girls are telling me, and they're going through the same situations. And you know, a master manipulator is super easy to act super sweet and very consistent, and then boom, it's like a switch triggers. There's this girl going around Facebook right now stating that he put his hands on her and that he's lying, telling everybody that she stole his wallet. She's already contacted the authorities, and he like posted her and it was like, I'll give anybody $500 who has any information on her. You know, he's like that. He did that. He popped up with me at work with my family. Like, he's just gonna do what he wants to do or what he has to do to get what he wants. Now, update with me, he did make a fake profile. I think it's called your ... qualified. And he was commenting under some of my videos early this morning. He is blocked. I don't doubt that he's going to make other profiles. And basically he was giving out false information. And I mean, all the proof is there. I really have nothing to prove. And so that is the update. I am being careful. I am around my family. I'm not alone right now. I just wanted to bring awareness to everybody around this situation or similar situations. He did not put his hands on me, but I knew he was going to with the way he already acted towards me. And after I told my side of the story, so many women have came forward.
Okay, so I'm going to read what this says. This says this man is going around posting that I stole his wallet, and the people that know me know I would never do anything like that. I'm hardworking woman and get everything for me and my son. So this person's a single parent. She says me and him been talking for a while and was hanging out for the first time this weekend. Last night, I didn't think I was going to see my son again. He put his hands on me and I was pleading for my life. I don't want to put details. I saw my chance to run and I ran for my life because I did that. He is posting I stole from him and asking everyone for my location and will pay $500. Please do not help him. I'm asking for my son's safety, please.
Now, this girl I found on Facebook, well, it was sent to me, and she's basically saying that they hung out and he's going around stating he got $500 on whoever finds her because that she stole his wallet or whatever, but he actually physically put hands on her. You can see it. This is her original post. I just cropped her name off of it. I don't want to expose her. I don't want to put her in any danger. So this is the Facebook post. She says she works really hard for her money. It looks like she's a single mom as well, and that he's like airing her out to whoever. This is a picture of him, and that's her little story. If she wants to come out and tell her story, that is completely up to her. It did take me a little while to come out with my side of the story. I didn't know if I wanted to do it, but again, the reason why I did it was because I wanted other women to be safe. I wanted other women to feel like they can come forward to any type of experience of abuse that they have been through, and you know, I can keep showing you guys proof if you guys want. Did you lose custody of your kids? No. Their dad and I share 50-50 custody. He likes to talk shit because I don't have full custody. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, but their dad is an active father and I'm an active mother, so we share 50-50 like we should. Number 2, his sign is a Cancer. I know you guys have been asking.
When I find a woman, that's my problem. I'm a Cancer. I go into the situation thinking, you know, this is going to be the last one. I'm going to make this work. You know, I'm manifesting perseverance, trying to get it to work. But they always have a wandering eye, so they miss out.
Number 3, I had nothing to do with him losing his job. Just because he scooped really low into a petty level and posted my kids on his TikTok and posted my phone number on his TikTok after I messaged him saying, do not involve my kids and take it down, he went and posted the video. My side of the story went viral, but I'm not the only one. I just had the platform to tell my story, but there is at least 6 other girls with the same exact story. So I had nothing to do with it. Number 4, just because you're gonna scoop low, I'm not gonna scoop low.
Voicing my opinion is not arrogant, you know.
Woman that popped the balloon wasn't even his type. And so now when I'm reading women who are responding to Aaron, they are attacking him in his looks and his stature. Now, from what Aaron has shared with me, when he was younger, he was shot and he was almost paralyzed. So when people go in and call him a Ninja Turtle or say he is shaped weirdly, you don't know people's backstory. This man was shot, almost lost his life, and was almost paralyzed. Good thing that throughout him growing up, from what he has shared with me, he has always been athletically built and he did boxing. So thank goodness this brother was fit and healthy at the time of this occurrence of an attack on his life. I don't remember or know the backstory of that, but that was something that he had shared with me. So for people that's bashing him and talking about his physique, his stature, or that he's shaped weirdly, he almost lost his life. So what you're seeing is a man on his comeback. Now, once again, a disclaimer. I'm only talking from my experience with Aaron. My video is not designed to combat other women and other people's perspective and opinion from the show and the continued opinion as people are releasing video for releasing their testimony of interaction with Aaron. Aaron is going viral from Pop the Balloon Challenge. I knew of this brother briefly, so I only want to talk about my 2 cents. For a disclaimer, I am not a sister that's going to jump on the bandwagon. From the moment that I met this brother, I met him on a dating app, and he was live streaming. So, of course, because of his main picture, he had a nice muscular build and a nice smile. I was like, let me go in this room and see what's going on. So I was typing to him, and then I turned on my camera on his live stream so he could see like I'm a real person. I am who I am in my pictures. So we was talking for a hot minute, like almost like 2 hours. We covered a lot of variety of subjects that I feel, for those of us in our own community, where we call ourselves conscious, it's hard to come across other brothers and sisters to talk about a variety of subject matters, from political to hood shit to economics. This brother, in my opinion, in my brief encounter with him, I believe Aaron was seriously looking for a relationship or to grow and develop with a woman. From my time of interacting with him, he told me, he would do whatever it took to come out to New York and to spend time with me. He would ask me if I bought tickets, will we be able to meet and get to know each other? But like I said, at that time, I just felt like I didn't want to invest in a long distance relationship. I wanted somebody who was closer. I just, if I'm dating a man, I want you physically here. I want you here beside me. I don't want us to have to be like, oh, we got to take trips and fly out. So like I said, for me, during this time when I met Aaron, I was just going through a lot, period. And I would have to say my consistency and my communication sucked ass. But he was definitely proactive. He was consistent. And like anytime when we would talk, he would express his interest in me. He would try to say, come up with a plan or a game plan where we could have, met each other to see where things can go. But I just felt at the time that I met him, I was just not in a space to really, like I said, be receptive. So when I see women coming out or basing their opinion off of a game show and not really interacting with this brother, like I said, and I will continue to stand on, and this is my opinion based off of my interaction solely with Aaron, is he was nice, he was direct, he was assertive, which is, he possessed all the qualities women do want. He possessed the qualities that women do want. But like I said, on my end, I just wasn't, number one, I was just going through stuff during that time, and I wasn't really open to the long distance thing, even though he said, he was willing to explore this and he's willing to come to New York, whatever. He was willing to make a way out of no way, but it was me. And I just don't like seeing him being bashed. Just from my experience, how hard, or, I just don't like how us as a people, but forget the game show, us as a people, we're just being so negative and destroying Black love, period.
Hi, I'm Esther. I'm 23. All right, so it seems like there's a little vibe here. So is it going to be a yes for you for him? God says save souls, so yeah. Oh, and is it a yes for you for her?
It's going to be a hell yes for me.
Okay, we got a match. All right, let me take this mic and y'all can go on off.
So after the show, me and Esther were having a conversation. And if Esther gave her number to Rhino, the proof is in the pudding right there. The proof is in the pudding. If you gave your number to Rhino, because Rhino's not the person. She gave her number or her Instagram or whatever to Chandler. Now, fellas, peep game right here. One thing is, you never address another man about a woman's conduct. If this is your woman, even though she's not my woman, I did what I call a temperature check. I want to know what type of time is we really on before I start investing my heart, mind, body, and soul into you. Because when I find a woman, that's my problem. I'm a Cancer. I go into the situation thinking, you know, this is going to be the last one. I'm going to make this work. You know, I'm manifesting perseverance, trying to get it to work. But they always have a wandering eye, so they miss out. You think Esther was finna get some money up out of me? Boy, she wasn't finna get a wooden nickel. One thing about me is I don't treat women. I court them. You know, it's a big difference in a real way. And I'm going to court my wife and that queen out there somewhere. Baby, if you watching this, hello, my man. I love you and I'm waiting on you to, because women do happen to like these big muscles, though. These big turtle muscles, though. Oh, wait. But yeah, anyway, you know, turtles got the hardest shell. So I appreciate, you know, all the love, all the hatred. But Chandler came up to her and he handed her his phone. Boom. He handed her the phone just like this. So I turn to look at her. Like I just said, you don't address another man. I turn to look at her. I said, that's what you doing, baby? She said, yeah. Oh, what? I turned around. You're disqualified immediately because you don't know what the prize looked like. Your eyes still wandering. Baby, I found my match. You know, we about to have a ball.
Can't even go into a fucking place of worship, bro. This shit is crazy. I swear to God, this shit is fucking crazy.